Hello everyone, this is BigAlski,
And JTB.
and we are doing Chapter 9 of Ballbade's Master Ninja Gaiden Black Karma Run. And the first thing we want to talk about is farming for the UF.
Yeah, now how he'll do that is in the, I think, second to last fight of Chapter 8, the two assault rifle guys and the rocket launcher guy before the encounter, before the gate, you can actually go through that door and then just charge up a Debilero UT. As long as you don't rotate the camera around, they won't shoot you. And you release that UT, it will kill all three of them. And off the top of my head, I can't remember how much essence they give you exactly, but it is somewhere in the region of 3,000, every time you do that. And it only takes like sort of 15 seconds to loop that. And I think he has maybe like 20 or so kills extra in Chapter 8. So he might do that maybe 4 or 5 times. And that's really important to get your UF at this point in the game, because not only does that help you out in this chapter, which you will see when he does the train car fight, but also at the beginning of Chapter 10, that's going to come in extremely handy for the first 2 encounters of that chapter.
Yeah, most people would normally wait, or the standard was for a long time, to wait until Chapter 10 before the worm fight before you got it, but...
Yeah, I think it might have been Curie that showed that. Didn't he have the UF in Chapter 9?
Yeah, and
I think
you can get it in Chapter 8 too, right?
You can, yeah, you can. You do have the time. I think I might have done that on my run. I think I did it. I'm not sure if he'd have farmed for items. I think in this chapter he does use 2 talismans, so he might have farmed in this chapter for his items and farmed in Chapter 8 for the UF. It's hard to tell without seeing his item screen at all. But yeah, I think I did it like the other way around. I did I farmed in Chapter 8 for the UF, and then kind of farmed at the beginning of Chapter 9 for my items, and I just like fill up on all my devil elixirs, fill up on like pretty much everything I can, really, health, like just so nothing can kind of catch you out, really.
Right. Now here again, knowing the enemies, know how they're going to come out, using the hiding spots, and again the on-landing gleaming blade.
Yep. It's a shame you can't get like an extra ET out of those guys somehow.
Right.
Like it's one of those things that like time-wise it is possible, but if it's actually possible in the game remains to be seen.
Go back and save, and then open the chest, and that gives you essence. I think Kiori again showed the that you could UT these guys.
Yeah, I think it was him. It's interesting how he handles this fight, because he gets 2 extra UTs here, and that must be why he's using the regular arrows on those bats. Because if you use either of like the exploding arrows or the like tank shell cores, they have a huge hitbox, so they will kill like either all of those bats in one. And using the regular arrows, that they have a much smaller hitbox, so he's able to keep some bats alive for the next encounter.
Right. Yeah, that's very creative.
Yeah, I think it's interesting about this fight though, because when he first showed, I was really surprised that he went for the 3 UTs, because I can't remember exactly, but I think if you do this fight, if you get your first 2 UTs, and then if you're able to stay on that train car and swap to the arrows and never get knocked off, I think you actually do get about 25,000 for your kill bonus. So it does. Wow. So it works out fairly evenly, but I think he might. I can't remember how much his kill bonus is here. I'll have to wait and see. But I think it still works out better with him getting that extra UT.
Well, it is good to see that he can miss with the arrows every now and then.
yeah, he gets 700 points. So, I mean, like 700 points is 700 points.
Oh yeah.
Now
he used the exploding arrows to kill the rest of them there.
It's really annoying though that like once you trigger this encounter, if there's any of those bats left, they actually count towards this encounter, and you won't get your time bonus until you kill them all. So,
wow.
Yeah, using the exploding arrows is much better, because like they're guaranteed to kill all of those bats.
I think there was a fight before this where he gleaming blade, and it didn't knock him up in the air because it was just that one hit. But boy, that would be tough to try to figure out how to get one hit.
Yeah, the timing
on some of these fights.
You ever wondered how the gleaming blade cuts their head off? It's only actually hitting them in like the legs?
Because it's Ryu, and he's a total badass.
He's just such a badass. It's like, he can attack your legs, and he'll cut your head off still. He doesn't care.
Now, on this fight, he seems, to be, roll jumping around a lot. Notice, here's the UF that he has, and, killing those guys, gives him blue essence. But I wonder if there's, like, a better spot somewhere, to where you don't have to waste so much time. But, I mean, I guess he figured it out best, or what do you think?
I think there might be. I mean, I remember this fight taking me a very long time to be satisfied with. What he's doing with the UF and killing the rocket launcher guys, I did it a little bit differently. How I would sort of do the same strategy what he's doing when he has to kill those guys, but then instead of going back and killing another one, I'd actually just charge up an ET with a smoke bomb to take out the soldiers. Because you can actually smoke bomb forward Y on landing Gleaming Blade charge the rocket launcher guys to get UTs out of them as well. But the only problem with that is you're just like kind of creating yet another thing that can go wrong. You know, like the rocket launcher guys can shoot you. The assault rifle guys can just ignore your smoke bombs.
Right.
So it's I think like doing it this way, like he kind of less like the only thing he really needs to rely on here is the rocket launcher guys giving him blue essence.
Again, knowing when to roll jump or versus smoke bomb then jump. I mean, that's just something. Understanding when the enemies are dying and what you need to do, and being able to be almost automatic with all that stuff. I mean, again, that's what it takes to really maximize your score out.
I think that was the second time a rocket launcher guy gave him a yellow. So like even
oh really okay.
Like yeah, if you're looking at it like in terms of like a flawless encounter, like ideally he would have wanted blues to have more time. But I mean, all things considered, I don't really think this fight could go any better than how he gets it.
Right. Yeah, again, if that guy got up, does he get up and shoot, or does he walk back?
He gets up and backs off, yeah.
Oh, okay. So again, knowing what the enemies are going to do,
I always found the tanks to be really tricky. They, you can, the absolute perfect run on a tank, is so hard to get. And, I always find it really annoying when Ryu misses. When you kind of use when you're just holding B to shoot the arrows, and sometimes it will just miss the tank completely. That's so
right. Yeah, it's like it goes in between where the gunner is and the rest of the tank or something like that.
Yeah. Interesting to know though, if you actually hit the tanks in between. I know there's a proper name for what the top part of the tank is called, but I can't remember it. If you hit them right in the middle of that, in between that and the body of the tank, it'll actually knock the gunner down. I think it just did there actually. With the tank shell cores in one shot, as opposed to shooting one at him and then shooting one back at the tank.
Now, he could have easily gotten out of the way of that cannon blast, but he's actually setting up his health bar for the next fight.
Yeah, he's setting it up for the helicopter.
Yeah. So again, having the presence, to realize that he needs to get his health bar down, without wasting any time. That's, again, just a sign of, understanding all your surroundings.
Yeah. He actually chains essence from the bats there. I don't think he shows that. In that chest, there are exploding bats. And that's where he chains essence from, to those two rocket launcher guys. Again, I'm pretty sure it was Kiori that first showed that in his video. We need to get, someone needs to do, again, it was Kiori that showed that count for, the end of this series. See how many times we say that.
And we didn't do it on the first few chapters, so again, just use the rebirth so you don't have to waste any time. You've got invincibility frames.
You have a ton. Use
that to your advantage, and he has the money to do it as well.
I think you actually have enough invulnerability to charge an ET after being hit with after using a talisman. You have that, you have so much time after that hits.
Now here, there's ghost fish in that chest. Use that essence to come up here, and too bad it doesn't, give you the points like, it did in the Hurricane Pack.
Yeah, I was thinking it's I remember in the Evil Ryu, I think it's chapter 13 Evil Ryu. He has there are ghost fish in those chests with him, but you can't open them in the encounter. So that would be a ton of points if you could get them. I thought it was interesting that he opened that chest in this encounter, because what would usually be done is you would save that chest for the helicopter guys that are in the next room,
right?
Chain essence to that. But he's still able to get a UT, so it works out better.
Now, why is he going with the chucks here? Because it doesn't kill the guy, or full UT doesn't kill the guy? Is that what he's trying to do?
I think what he might have been using there is because if when he goes behind, I'm not sure what that is. Is it like, are they like pipes there? Yeah, where he goes behind there, I think like if two enemies would have come up to him with a warhammer, he could have killed them both.
Right,
so like
right.
the chuck UT, I always thought the nunchuck UT it's the best in the game for controlling like where you deal the damage in that nunchuck UT, because it's really really weak apart from that final hit.
Now, here's a little secret that that I use because I suck, with the bow, and I think I said in my other one. You can put a little dot in the center of your TV screen, and then that's where these arrows are going to shoot every time. So, that's a little, helpful way to be fast with this fight and with the helicopter fight.
Yeah.
But
I always
of course,
thought
do what?
No, sorry, go on. I was just saying something.
No, I was just going to say, but of course, when you're JTB and ball bait and stuff, you don't need that.
I always thought you
don't
should.
need that extra stuff.
I always thought you should have got a karma bonus for shooting rockets. He does it towards the end of that encounter. I think it's so cool. I remember the first time I did that. It was by complete fluke, but like you can shoot the rockets with the arrows. Like I think it would be so cool if that gave you a karma bonus. Like
Right. Now, this is impressive right here. Being able to know the control, do the XY, XX on landing. You don't want to just do an XY on landing because you still got to wait for the blue to come out.
You've got to wait for that essence to come out. I think Kyoira might have used exploding arrows at that point, didn't he? Because I remember I used Nimpo on my run because I just couldn't be bothered with. Like I remember getting really frustrated with like the exploding arrows killing everybody and not being able to get over there quick enough, and this really frustrated me.
Right. And again, same thing right there. I mean, that's really nice. Now here, after this fight, you definitely want to go back and save before finishing out the chapter.
Yeah, because the next fight, I mean, I've always thought of that as like the first fight of chapter 10, but you're not able to save after you end this chapter. So after this one, you definitely want to go back and save.
It's too bad. Well, yeah, he only had the one essence, so.
Yeah, I think a UT and an ET is pretty much all you can get there.
Right. So here, the time limit is 30 minutes. You can tell he farmed a lot. The kills are 92. So great job. Thanks again, JTB.
Thanks, BigAlski.
Okay, guys, we'll see you in chapter 10.